Coach, thank you. Well, you folks at home can see the evidence. Snow and supposedly a few inches yet to fall here at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Washington Redskins and the Philadelphia Eagles. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
Ready up, 54. Mike 54. Let's go, team. Gonna be a long day.
Now Jackson on first down. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Here's Jackson to throw. He's got his big tight end, Fant. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
3 and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12. From the gun, Jackson. And he finds McLaurin. A gain of 26 on the third down conversion. And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
Let's go now. 43. Mike 47. Ain't no such thing as a loss. We take a win home.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 39-yard line.
Ready? Right. 47. Check, 47. Here we go.
Now the first carry for Bryce Love. Room to run past midfield. He's at the 30. Touchdown, Washington. Bryce Love, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Dustin Hopkins on now to add the extra point. Boy, these may be an adventure this afternoon, but this one is good. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
At their own 28-yard line.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They will run for the first time with Miles Sanders. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Wentz on the give to Sanders. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
Double time. 4 down. Check. 4 down.
It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of 10 yards on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
It's now 3rd down.
Here we go, Pac-Man. And kill.
Shotgun now for Wentz. Looking for Ertz, but it's intercepted. Reuben Foster picks it, and his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And that'll be incomplete. He was looking for Paul Richardson there, but now it's 3rd down. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Throwing is Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
We call that an even 50 yards on the punt with 7 on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Two jet.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Redskins 7, Eagles nothing.
Mike, here we go. 180. You don't know no better. The great 57.
10's the mic. 10's the mic.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Darquez Denard. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. So cancel the interception, pass interference.
And you know what else gets canceled? The return yardage. Makes the play, but now it's all for naught.
Here we go, Pac-Man. 180.
You have to get tired of seeing me.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. The tackle there by Fabian Moreau.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Come on, let's go.
On 2nd down now. It's Sanders. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain there of 21 yards. Boy, the offensive line there, that was a thing of beauty to watch them block.
I love how you give a little appreciation for those big guys up front, and well-deserved. But how about the execution behind them? You can see the hours of practice that have gone into it. Great pocket by the running back. Quarterback puts it right in the perfect spot. Great mesh point by them. The timing on point. The run even better.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Working from the gun, Wentz. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Fabian Moreau. And he will bring it out past the 20-yard line.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation. But sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4. Nice.
Jackson from the shotgun. Wright's got it. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Mike
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. Forced out to his left. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Yeah, it's out of the end. It's out of the field. It's out of the field. Hey, it's out of bounds.
Looking to throw again on second down. Jackson, and his throw's going to be incomplete. Was trying to get it to Terry McLaurin, and it's third and short. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. From the gun, it's Jackson. He's got his tight end Fant. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. 1:54 left on the clock here in quarter number 2. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
52's the mic, boys. 52 up top. Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense.
Jackson now. From the gun, he'll throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further. Extra point through the snowflakes, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Change the mic. Change the mic.
Hey, Haywood!
Here's Wentz to throw. Trying to lay one up deep. And this is caught inside the 5. A big play there just before halftime. 53 yards. Wentz to throw again. Dancing to his left. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal.
Go, go, go.
Hey, 57, 57.
51's the mic. 51's the mic.
5.
We want it. Come to my world. Right here, guys. Fight 51. Mike 51.
74, 74.
Pull it together. 51's Mike. Mike 51. Come on, baby. Let's see what you got.
Now Wentz. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Montez Sweat racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
Hey, Orbit.
Wentz now on 3rd and goal. toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Incomplete in the end zone. Brings up 4th down and goal.
So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. From the left hash, this from 34. And Elliott puts this one through. So a late 3 there, and that'll help as they head into the break.
Talk about situational football and something they've worked on since the OTAs and mini camps the previous summer. They take care of the ball, get 3 points, knowing they're going to get the ball to start the second half. That's the old 2-for-1 special to finish things off. And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
A good starting spot for the Redskins as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, this snow front that has socked much of the East Coast not going away as we are back to it in the second half. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation.
3rd and 11.
Go. 280!
Let's pick it up. It's our time, guys. Our time.
They kill. They force kill.
Let's get off the field.
From the gun, it's Wentz. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 17 yards and a first down for Philly.
That's good for Eagles. First down.
They'll run on first down. It's Sanders. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Another run with Sanders, and he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Now Scott, and he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10.
Sunday! 81. Hey, Charlie!
51's the mic.
I got him.
Right here, guys. Fight 51. Mike 51.
Man 5-7.
51's Mike.
Throwing his Wentz. And Sanders has got it complete. I call it no gain there on the first down play.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Throwing again on second down. Wentz. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Landon Collins. And they will finally stop him as he's down to the 40-yard line. first possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
After the interception, here's Jackson. Steps away, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Jannard Avery. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. So they come out of the locker room trailing, but plays like that, they won't be trailing much longer. Defense really starting out well this second half.
Yeah, they knew they had to jumpstart things a little bit. They really struggled in the first half trying to slow them down, but now they had a plan, made that adjustment that we always talk about, and it worked very well on that play.
That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for third down.
17, but it brings up third down.
Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4.
Get ready. Mike 54. Mike 50. Coming this way. Here we go. Here we go.
Now Jackson operating from the gun. He wants it all for the... And this is taken in for a Redskins touchdown. Terry McLaurin, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the interception by the Redskins deed leads to a touchdown. Extra point good by Hopkins. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 22-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll go again with Sanders. And he's going to be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter of play. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Eagles behind on the scoreboard, but with the football here as we start the fourth quarter. From the gun on third down, Wentz. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on fourth down. Now Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Montez Sweat. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line. On first down, here's Love. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Brought down by Nate Gary.
That was a really nice play, able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Staying on the ground, it's Love. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Operating from the gun, Jackson. This is the tight end, Fant. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the 1st down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Let's go, defense. Let's get off the field, defense.
2-yard line.
Wentz on the draw, leads it for Sanders. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything, change it up, because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. He's going to let it fly. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. It's a big play there for the Eagles. 45 yards. On 1st down, Sanders. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st. To throw, it's Wentz. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. Quentin Dunbar right there on the coverage. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal.
Hey, Zoo.
Now Wentz. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
This Washington defense, they've stood tall the first 2 plays. Now 3rd and goal.
Let's make these babies cry. Hey, high 7.
Fight 51, Mike 51. I'm coming, baby. I'm coming, baby.
And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Carson Wentz with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Eagles get a score closer.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed. But if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right. And if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
He took the outlaw. 54 Mike. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen.
So a victory here for the Washington Redskins. And I think the game balls need to be distributed on the defensive side of the football, and I bet that you would agree.
Yeah, if you hold a team under 10 points, that's a job well done. Really well done. So I would say game balls for every starter and every key player who participated in this game.
Now, see, I only like one game ball. You're handing out multiple, although I set you up by saying game balls, plural. But
I like where we're going with this, though. You say one to represent, like the best player of all of that. And I say multiples so that you keep everyone motivated and involved.
You're a man of the people.
I'm a man of the people. I thought I was the only child.
You get a game ball, and you get a game ball. Game balls for everybody. So for the Redskins, their very slim playoff hopes get a boost as they move to 5-7. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Big D to take on the Cowboys. Meanwhile, for Philadelphia, this season is beyond salvage now as they fall to 2-10. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Baltimore Ravens. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.